Shea Couleé, I am so excited to have you here today. I'm so excited to have you back on our TV screens again as part of All Stars.
Oh, thank you so much, Kathy. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Now, to get started, I really wanted to make sure that I give you the opportunity to kind of address everything that's happening in the world right now, because you've been very active on your social media, and I think it's important that you're using your voice. So I wanted to give you the chance to kind of tell me how you're feeling and how you think we're progressing through all of this.
I have definitely been super vocal on social media because I feel like I have a responsibility as a Black person, as a queer Black person, especially during Pride, to use my platform to be able to amplify voices of queer Black people. And everything that's been happening, just culturally with all of the exposure that we've had to police brutality has really allowed us to mobilize and create really important conversations about the inequalities that surround Black people here in America, and not even here, but all around the world. So for me, this has been an amazing experience, and it's given me so much more courage than I had before to be able to speak very bluntly and openly about my experiences. And I'm really glad that there has been a shift in which Black people have really been allowed to speak openly about these experiences without so much fear of retaliation. It's really nice to see the way that people are really tuning in and listening.
Yeah. Now, you also posted on your social media the day that the new season of All Stars premiered, kind of talking about how you're balancing that feeling of everything that's happening in the world, but also something really incredible personally. And one of the things I loved you said was that sharing successful Black stories is an important tool in creating hope for the younger queer POC who watch the show. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. For instance, one of my competitors this season, Mariah Balenciaga, she served as a jumping off point and a person of inspiration to me when I was a younger queer POC person who hadn't jumped into the world of drag. And just having visibility, seeing her on this platform gave me the courage to go and seek out and live my own truth. And so it's almost as if you're seeing two different generations here. Like I said this to her, I was just like, I want you to see yourself in me because I am a product of you being here, you being in the room. So the more time that Black queer people see themselves reflected in rooms like RuPaul's Drag Race, it gives them hope and it gives them courage. And I want to be able to provide that for them the same way other really influential Black creators have done that for me.
Yeah, Mariah's performance on the premiere episode was so powerful as well. And it was insane how timely it was.
Right. I mean, it moved me then, but there's so much that's happened since we filmed. And, I kind of forgot about it for a moment. And then seeing it again reflected on that screen, just like, it was pure destiny that she did that number because it was really needed during this climate.
Mm-hmm. Now, your performance during the variety show was also wonderful. You had on this amazing red ensemble and you were working the pole. How did you decide that that's what you were going to bring to the table?
I always really want a challenge, and I wanted to find a way to perform my single, Collide, on the show because, a lot of girls go on All Stars, they produce a single, they come back and, they lip sync and they perform it. And I was just like, okay, well, how can I take this single, this performance to the next level and do something that we haven't seen on All Stars yet? And I racked my brain and I was like, pole dancing was something that we hadn't seen. So, I went and I jumped just like right into taking classes. Like, I trained about 12 hours total before going to do the show. And I was so absolutely petrified because I had never even done a pole like that, like a stage pole, which is kind of different than like one that's bolted to the floor. But I was so happy that I went out there and did that, stepped outside of my comfort zone, challenged myself to do something extremely physical that I never tried before. And after seeing it, I felt kind of good because I looked pretty sexy.
I have to agree.
Thank you. And even my mom, who's a reverend, she loved it too. So I was just like, if Reverend Coulee approves, then I think it was good.
Now, you brought up that you're trying to show something different in All Stars. So what are you really hoping to accomplish by coming back? You already had such a strong showing in your original season, but how are you elevating that this time around, showing new things?
I think one thing that I learned from my experience on season 9 that I'm bringing into this one, I know people really view me as a tough competitor because of my performance previously. But what I brought into All Stars was more vulnerability and just a sense of openness, because I think a lot of times when we see confident, strong people, we just like assume that they're always confident and they're always strong. And I felt like on season 9, I was always holding back on my vulnerability and just being like, you can cry off camera. But I wanted to be really open about my experiences and my feelings so that people know that, like, you have to fight through those uncomfortable feelings and being scared and being vulnerable, because that's where like true success lies, pushing yourself.
Well, and I'm sure having such a strong performance last time has to make the pressure so high coming into All Stars that you won so many matches.
It definitely did, but I came in with the mindset of, regardless of how my performance has been on the previous season, that my number one goal was to contribute to the zeitgeist that is RuPaul's Drag Race, and just provide a sense of inspiration to all the viewers out there, because it is a form of escape and it does inspire a lot of people. And I said, just as long as I keep myself humble and work hard and go in there with the intent of making amazing, memorable television and being the best competitor that I can be, then I'll be happy. And I think I did that.